Today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp.
How's it been going since you've been doing therapy for the last couple of months?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, I've done therapy my whole life. I mean, since my 20s, I think I've done therapy on and off throughout. A lot of people look at therapy as like, oh, there's something wrong with you if you're doing therapy. The way I look at it is there's something really healthy and right about you if you're speaking to a therapist, because you're able to, like, we all go through things in our lives that just make things difficult. And if you have someone, especially a professional, to talk about it, it just makes your life better. It just calms things down. Your anxiety, your depression, your anger, they all seem to subside, and that's a really healthy thing. And with BetterHelp, what's great about it is no matter where you are, you can be in Alaska, you can be in the middle of Kentucky, you can be anywhere, and you can connect with a therapist, a professional who's really going to help you out. And we all need it. And sometimes if you're not in New York or LA or San Francisco or Chicago, you're stuck without those options. But now everyone has that at their disposal. And you can do this all from your phone or computer, just a phone call, a video chat, or messaging, however you feel most comfortable. It's the easiest possible way to start talking to a therapist. You'll be matched with a therapist usually within 48 hours, and you can get started right away. So let BetterHelp connect you with a therapist, all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/soft white underbelly or choose soft white underbelly when you sign up and get a special discount on your first month. And now back to the video.
It might be a little scatterbrained because it's not scripted. It's just you're just putting me out there.
It's better that way.
It is. It's raw.
Yeah, real. That's what I try to do. I'm not looking for perfection. I just like them
real.
Yeah. All right, Ellis.
Yes.
Ellis, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
I'm from Atlantic County area, South Jersey.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about your family.
I don't consider I have family.
Really?
Oh boy, I don't want to start this yet like that.
Sorry.
Okay.
You had mom and dad?
They were there.
Do you have siblings?
Yes.
I don't know how to get into this without triggering you to cry, but
No, it's going to happen anyway. Because it's fresh. My sister, she killed herself in February, so. Yeah. So.
Here, let me give you this first.
Okay.
You're going to need this.
And I'm hot. I'm hot flashing too, so. Yes, I have a mother, I have a stepfather, and I have a biological father.
Well, let's just start with the problems. Where did the problems start? When did they start?
It probably started sooner, but from memory recollection, I was 3 to 13. I was raped and molested by my stepfather.
Stepdad?
Mm-hmm.
And you weren't old enough to say anything.
I did say stuff, but I got beat when I said stuff.
By your mom?
Yes, and him, he would, he knew that she hated me, and so how she would treat me. So when she was around, he would be really abusive to me and beat me and call me like whores and stuff like that. And then when she would leave, he would be like, I had to say all that. And so he would give me money and like anything I wanted. And he had sex with me. I lost my virginity to him.
At what age?
Well, I was pregnant by him at 12. So I think probably 9. Like, I think it was 9. I used to get made fun of in school because, like, I had really big breasts. They were growing, and so I got made fun of in school about that because I would kick ass out in school. Short girl complex, I guess. I don't know. But I told people seen it. They told my mother. She was an alcoholic and on PCP and stuff. And
And you had the child?
No, he took me to have the abortion And he's the one who actually like changed my pads and stuff like that, and kept up with me, like washing me and stuff like that.
Wow.
Um,
And this went on through your teenage years too?
until I was 13. I think it could have been 14, but I guess I still used it to my advantage because I knew if I asked him for something that he would give it to me, but not around my mom. But it was no like consensual sex between him and I at that age. Like I think it stopped at like 13, 14, because I started liking this boy, and he got really jealous of that, and he beat me. He beat me because I liked this boy, and I used to sneak on the phone. And I had my little sister. She was connected at my hip, and I was afraid for her, so I always kept her close to me when I could, you know. So, but she said nothing happened to her. That's his biological child. So it was just me, I guess, from what I know. Just to go back, when I was 9, I got hit by a car. It was going 80 miles an hour, and my uncle pushed me out in front of it, but not on purpose. It was supposed to be my little sister, which is 2. So I'm 7 years older than her. So I was like, no, I'm going. So I went, which, thank God.
I mean, what do you mean you're jumping out of a
Yeah,
car?
I said, I'm jumping on the 3-wheel. You know, it was a little 3-wheeler, little bike thing, tricycle. So I went, and thank God, because she would have died. So when he pushed me out, the car was coming so fast. I remember him looking both ways. So the car was going like 80 miles an hour, and it flew me into like 20 feet and ripped my ankle. It crushed my pelvis, my chest. My mom was cleaning houses at the time, and even though I was really bad, bleeding so bad, and I still had to sit in the car with my stepfather and my sister and brother and my uncle while my mom got off work. She didn't even take me to the hospital. I had to wait, and I could just, the pain was just unimaginable. So, you know, she was like, oh, what happened to this whore? And mind you, before I got hit by the car, he had raped me. He sent my uncle and my brother and sister into the blueberry field. That's where we used to pick blueberries, wait for my mom to get off work because she's a house cleaner. And he used to send them off and rape me in back of a station wagon, where I would like focus on, there used to be these dice in the window. So when I'm laying there, I'm looking and just want it to be over. So he, you know, and she always called me whores and stuff because she knew what he was doing to me. So I didn't even go to the hospital right away then, and I was in and out of consciousness, which I remember it, you know, and the pain was so bad, like I wasn't supposed to have kids or anything, but I did. You know, I wasn't supposed to have breasts. Well, that's they're there to have, you know, kids, and so I ended up being in the hospital for like almost a year. At first a full body cast, and then, you know, gradually it went down. But my stepfather, he used to always come in every night, and, you know, the hole that she used to use the bathroom, he would molest me in that hole and do things. My mom did come one time to see me, and in the process of me being molested by him, and it fell on deaf ears because my grandmother told her, the babysitter told her, I told her. No matter how many times I would get beat, I still would say it. So, what was I saying? So he used to molest me in the hospital, and it fell on deaf ears, which led my other uncles to molest me. He's the only one that penetrated me, but they wouldn't molest me. Like I was just being molested left and right. Like I was just open game.
Did you ever get away from your family?
No, nope.
Not till you graduated?
I left at 16, but in the midst of that, my mother was a really bad alcoholic, and I started drinking at 9 myself. But I was introduced to it, you know? So my brother, he was 14, and he drowned on the Brigantine Beach. And my mother, she says, I wish it was you that died. And I said, oh, you just don't know. I wish it was me too. And I tried to make it come true. But I guess God had another plan for me. So I had drank bleach and took Tylenol, PM, a whole bottle. And I woke up. I was in the hospital. And I was so angry. I didn't want to be there. I just wanted to be gone. And it was hell. It was hell. It was just hell. Just hearing that all the time. So it's just so many elements to this, to the situation at home. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Did you have friends?
No, because it's funny because I had friends, but I was never allowed like to go out to dances or nothing like that because my stepfather always wanted me up under him, and he kept my mother drunk, so I could be under him. And then she would be so drunk that he would lay me on the floor and turn her head like toward us, and he would have sex with me. She'd be passed out drunk, and I would look up at her, and she was just not passed out drunk.
Where are your mom and stepdad today?
They're together.
They're still together?
They're still together. And I'm the outcast of the family because I don't keep a closed mouth about it. So my sister was, so my brother died. Then my sister, before she ended up committing suicide. And before that happened, she told me, she was like, Alice, I just want you to know, I'm so sorry. She's like, but I didn't know how to take it because that's that's my father, and he never did anything to me. And you're my sister. But I did used to see him rub your legs under the table and give you money and rub your hair and kiss you and stuff. So February 11th of this year, she succeeded in killing herself. She tried twice, and I wasn't even told. I found out on Facebook that my sister was on life support in the hospital. When I went to go see her, I was banned. I couldn't even visit her. I didn't even go to her funeral. I wasn't allowed. They said I could only visit her in the funeral home alone. And so I didn't get her ashes. I didn't get anything. So that's I found out that my last name was different than the name that I thought I was all through school and everything. Like I gave my kids my last name that I thought it was. My name is Luker. I gave my kids my last name and stuff. So when I was like in my late 30s, I had to get another birth certificate. And I kept telling them my name is Alice Luker. And they're like, well, we can't find that in the system. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It has to be there. So they were like, no. So they was like, well, what's your mother's married name? So it was Schreiber. So I was like, I told him. Come to find out, in 1982, he adopted me. He gave me his name, but they never told me. I still had my Luker birth certificate and my Luker Social Security card, and I went through school up all the way thinking I was Luker.
You were thinking that your stepdad was your real father?
No, I knew he wasn't my real father, but they never told me that my last name got changed to Shriver. They kept it as if I was Luker. So to me, and then they were lying about it, saying that I just made that name up and I took it on. But I had the abstract, my full birth certificate, where it was changed from Luker to Shriver, and it's both their signature. The only thing I can get from that is that either, because I had a lawsuit, but I couldn't get it till I was 18. So I'm figuring that my mom, she didn't graduate like school or nothing like that. So I'm thinking that he probably figured if I took on his name that he could get my money sooner, or that was a way of basically giving me his last name, like I was married to him, because I was his girlfriend for all those years. So that's the way that I look at it now. And I even brought it to my mom's attention. I'm like, I was a Shriver all this time, Mom, and you never said nothing. Oh, I don't remember that, she said.
And the sexual relationship with your stepdad was happening how often?
Oh, all the time. Always. Just constant. It was constant. It's sick to say, but I even became attached to him because that's what I knew, But to this day, I don't like sex. It makes me sick. Just talking about it makes me want to throw up, because I do suffer from bulimia. Because when he would have sex with me, I would feel so sick, I would go make myself throw up, and I thought that was a way to get him out of me, So
I'm sure it's affected your relationships since.
Yeah, I stay in long-term relationships with men, but they're messed up relationships. They are. And I feel like they do the same thing to me. Like they see this person with a low self-esteem and they use that, I don't know what love is. I never felt that. Like,
you never felt loved as a kid?
No, definitely not. And my biological father was in Rahway State Prison for raping a 6-year-old girl, and he called me on the phone one time. I was with my grandmother, and he asked me how old I was. Do I have breasts? Do I have pubic hairs? My grandma was like, hang up on that motherfucker. So, and my mom said I was a rape baby, but I find that weird. How am I a rape baby and you name me after his mother? She had me in the stay home for girls, and now is Edna Man Correctional Facility, where I ended up going. I did 7 years there because a family friend, a friend of mine, made a sexual advance to my daughter. And so I tried to cut his dick off. And when I went to do it, he blocked it, and I cut 3 fingers off in the main artery in his leg. So I ended up doing...
you cut 3 of his fingers off?
Yeah, and they're sewn on, but he's permanently in a wheelchair. He bled out. So with that being said, back then, they gave you time to get your affairs together and get your children, So I arranged it for my kids to be with their father, which he had a girlfriend, a house, and all that. Well, then I went to do my time, and lo and behold, they end up back at my mom's house, and my stepfather molested my daughter. And
it doesn't stop.
Just didn't stop. And it just... I just don't... The failure I feel, and I know I wasn't a good mom. I was dibbling and dabbling in drugs. And my way of, getting my mom's love and attention, I would steal stuff for her. I would always steal. And she'd be like, I know I don't want you to steal, but I know you're going to do it. And I really like this Tommy Hilfiger bathing suit. So I was like, okay. I went and stole it for her. So that was my way, I thought, of getting love, but there was no love there.
Have you ever seen a therapist?
I'd have.
Is that helpful at all?
No. Because, I don't know, it just seems like they just go through the motion. And I just feel like, just like any other part, anybody else that I have ever told, they just go through the motion. Oh, I'm listening, here's some medication. You know, because I'm bipolar. I suffer from PTSD. I told you I'm bulimia. My self-esteem is low. Like, people tell me all the time I'm nice looking, but I don't see it because I feel disgusted. I'm just disgusted with myself. Another time when I was 9, I said, well, somebody's going to hear me. So what I did was I ripped my clothes off. I cut my face up. I pulled my hair out and everything. And I climbed out my bedroom window and I laid on the side of the house. So then I started like screaming, like crying. My mom came out there and she was like, what the fuck happened? And I was like, I don't know, the guy, he pulled me out through the window. And she was like, you lying ass bitch. Like, get the fuck in the house. And she beat me. And all I wanted was to go to the hospital so they could see I'm not a virgin. I'm 9 years old. I'm not a virgin. I've been touched. Nope. I got the shit beat out of me. I got the shit beat out of me. My mom came in. I was 5. I'm sorry if I'm blabbering on, but
No, you're doing fine.
I was 5, and she used to go to the casino all the time and leave me alone with my uncles, and one was her brother and one was my stepfather's brother. So I remember they had me up on the kitchen counter naked, and was trying to touch me, but I was running back and forth, and then I hopped down and I ran underneath the bed, and they were beating me they were naked too, and they were beating me under the bed with a belt, trying to get me out from under the bed so they could do whatever. So my mom came in on that and she saw them. So then she told me, she was like, get the fuck from under that bed. That's how she's talked to me. I always thought I was a slut, a whore, a bitch. That's my name. That was my name. I didn't know my name as Alice, just whore or something like that. So she asked, what's going on? Why are you naked? I said, they took my clothes off. And then she's like, yep, there goes somebody else touch you. So she took their penises, put it against the wall, the door thing, and beat it with a belt like 3 times and sent them on their way. Now, yeah, they were like, my uncle is 7, 8 years older than me, but really, like, you know, and then.
So your stepdad did some time for what he did to you?
No.
Not at all?
Nothing. It was never reported, no matter how many times. And then when I got older, and he lies about it, and he got all my family against me, knowing what he did. Like, you lost your son, you lost your daughter, and, you know, like, when can I get some relief that you don't see karma is like biting you in your ass? And they just treat me like shit, like just mean, just bad. And I took care of my sister before she died that they don't even know about, but I took care of her. And she was like peeing in my bed and stuff, and I didn't know because she was hiding it. So, but she wasn't talking to me about no suicide. She was just talking about how me and her daughter, I know she was losing her mind because her son got killed. In 2021, he got into a car accident and he was 23. So I know that weighed a lot on her. But she wasn't talking to me about killing herself. She was talking to me about how she was having a lot of pressure on her brain, and like my sister was losing it. You know what I'm saying? Probably from the heartache from my nephew and from what she confessed to me, and you know, she was just tired. So she was peeing in my bed. I didn't know it. And then when I finally smelled, I was like, what the hell? And then she was like, I'm sorry, I'm embarrassed. And so she was like, but you can have my bed set. You know what I'm saying? My furniture, because she was moving. Because my sister had money like that. She used to own a cafe. It was called Naomi's Cafe in Northfield. So I was like, okay. I said, don't worry about it. I don't want to embarrass her. You know what I mean? So I was like, it's fine. But I'm thinking, hey, I need me a bed because. So I made her laugh. So
You seem to me to be really a very mentally strong person, given everything you've gone through.
I am, but I'm not. You know what I mean?
Well, you're gonna pay a price for a childhood like that.
Yeah, very severely. Yeah, I have nightmares all the time. Yeah, yeah. So my sister ended up killing herself in February, and like they got rid of everything. They threw everything away or gave it away, like her ashes.
Was it drugs or?
Well, my sister never did drugs, but then it ended up because she tried twice to die. Then she was like, "Oh shit! Well, you know what? Everybody's dying off these drugs. This is a guaranteed way." So it was a drug induced suicide. And my mom, like, I told her, I said, "I'm your only living daughter. I'm your only living child left." And she just, yeah. Well, we did a suicide walk, a suicide prevention walk, this past Saturday. So they were all there, and me and my oldest granddaughter, we were there. And my niece was like, "What are you doing here? I fuck you up." She was like, and then my mom just standing there like, I'm like, "What is wrong with you? I'm here for my sister. I'm not here for you." I wasn't even gonna like deal with that. I just went to the police. I was like, "Look, I'm not leaving. I came here for a cause, and I'm gonna follow through with it. But she is threatening me. My mother's right there. She didn't try to nothing." And then the cherry on the fucking Sunday is this: my kid's father lives with them. Doesn't talk to his grandkids because they say, "Oh, well, if you talk to them, then you have to leave." And I'm like, whoa, it's just fucked up all the way around. Even for my kids, especially my daughter, she got molested by her grandfather.
How is your daughter now?
My daughter, how is she?
Yeah.
She suffers. She does. It's sad. It's so many elements, so much. It's just, and I try to be a little lenient with my mother because I know my mother went through a lot as a child. I don't know if a lot of it, what she says is true. I don't know because my grandmother was excellent to me. So I don't know, but I know it's possible. She said that she sold her like for beer money and all kind of stuff. But yet I used to see my mom prostitute with men. She would go in the room, talk about giving them a massage, and then come out and we get McDonald's and stuff. So I'm like, damn, keep that massage up. Then I ain't got to be bothered by my stepfather. Let you do it. But it's just abuse. My mom broke my arm. She used to take her finger and dig it all the way into my eye. Like it felt like she was gonna pop my eye out. She used to bend my fingers all the way back. Like, I don't know. I don't know how it got so flexible like that, but it went. But she did break my arm. She bent it back so far that it snapped. And she said to tell the people I was cheerleading. I'm not even a fucking cheerleader. What am I cheerleading? Just like it's just sad because she did favor my brother and sister, and I'm thinking that that's because it was her husband's kids. But she would make like beef stew, and I was not allowed to get in any of the meat. I would only have the broth and the potatoes and stuff. And if we're ordering subs, who wants this? I'm like, okay, And I don't know why, but each time I would suit myself up. And my brother and sister would eat the meat out and the condiments, and I would get the bread. And I'd be like, and then she was like, "Yo, you got the best part." Listen, if that was the best part, they would have got it, and I would have got the meat. Damn it, you know. Just like with school shopping and stuff, like when she would go school shopping, she would put me in the Salvation Army containers and throw the bags out to her. That was my school clothes, and I would wear the same clothes 3 days and 2 days. But I used to have to sneak clothes to school and change like that. I wasn't allowed to take a shower every other day, maybe twice a week.
And of course, this affects you as an adult with your self-worth and all kinds of things.
Right. I feel so dirty, but that's why I feel like, oh, I don't play around with showers and brushing my teeth and all that. But I just feel like this ugly, little piece of shit. I just feel disgusting. I do feel like that I'm a whore, even though I'm not. I'm not a promiscuous person, but I feel like I was his whore. And I feel like I could have been a better mother, you know, and I feel bad. Like I couldn't even talk to my daughter or nothing and tell her how it would feel, like you're going to get these butterflies if you like a boy and stuff, because I don't know. I never got that. I never got that feeling. I don't know. I don't know what that feels like. And it's not fair to her either. It's just so fucked up. Just everything. I don't know what I did so bad. I didn't ask to be here. I didn't. And then she said I was a rape baby, but I'm not. I wasn't a rape baby. Because you wouldn't name me after my grandmother. You know? I don't think so. And then she was like, yeah, well, because my mom did 2 years in prison for robbery and stuff with my biological father. And I ended up with his mother. And she left me under a window, and all the snow came in on my bassinet. And I guess I was supposed to have died, but they said I was all blue and stuff. And when I got to the hospital, I guess they revived me. Well, I guess. But why? Why keep bringing me back? Like, what the hell? I feel like Jesus Christ. But God must got a purpose. But I just don't know what the purpose is, because I'm like, how much more can I take? But I just keep taking more and more. I just don't know. But it's really sad because I have my 16-year-old niece. When I seen her at the suicide walk, I couldn't even grieve with her. I grieved alone. I grieved alone, my sister. And when I seen her, she just looked at me, and I went over and hugged her. I didn't care what nobody said. And she just started crying, like her knees buckled, everything. My sister don't know what she did. Like, I know it probably took her pain away, but God, she wouldn't talk to me sometimes because they would get on her. Oh, if you talk to your sister, then.
But she wasn't being molested like you were.
No.
But still being part of that family is going to cause problems.
It did. So she tried to stay neutral. Like I used to have this, like, my mom didn't know this, but for the while, I was the Easter bunny for my sister's restaurant. And I would sit there and hold my mom and everything. She didn't even know. And my sister's like, Alice, please don't say nothing. And I'm like, no. But then I was like turned to my mom with this big Easter bunny hat on. And I was like, yeah, I guess I'll get a hug one way or another, because she would hug me. And I was like, okay. So I got love like that. It's just, I don't know what I did. I don't know. And I went to the police, and they said it was a statute of limitations that I couldn't pursue it because it was so long. And I said, why is that fair? Why is that fair? And even my uncle, he told me, he brought it to my attention. I had forgot. And he was like, do you remember when they used to tie you to the bed? And as soon as he said that, like a flood, I was like, yeah.
So he used to tie you to the bed?
My mom and dad and stepfather, they used to tie me to the bed because I love milk, but they would never let me have milk. My brother and sister could drink it, but I could not. I don't know why, because I liked it so much, I guess. That's something else to take away from me. So I used to sneak up in the middle of the night, and I used to go out there and drink the milk. And mind you, I'm a little girl, and this big gallon of milk, so I'm sitting there. And one time I was drown my damn self because I was like that, and it spilled all over me, and I ran back to the room. My little footprints was all, and she beat the shit. I mean, but it was worth it. That milk was so good. That was the best milk I had. So, so they started tying me to the bed, and it was only supposed to be at nighttime. So I didn't get up and go, But then I would pee myself in the middle of the night because I couldn't get out of bed to go to the bathroom, and I would get beat. Then it ended up I would be just tied in the bed like for a day or two, and they wouldn't feed me. And then when they did feed me, I had to eat eggs, and I hate eggs. I do. I hate them. And they would put this big bowl of M&Ms there. Now, mind you, I'm 4 or 5. Big bowl of M&Ms on the table, and I'm sitting there with these eggs. No flavor, no nothing, just some eggs there. So, of course, I'm sneaking eating the M&Ms. Stepfather came in. He saw me eating them. So then he was like, you better hurry up and eat them before your mom comes in here. So my mom came, as soon as he finished that statement, she come right behind him, and I was eating the M&Ms. So he's like, what I fucking tell you about eating those M&Ms? And he used to wear rings on his finger, big rings. And he just backhanded me. I got all these little scars like all over my face from him backhanding me with those rings on. Then my mom would beat me. So I would sit there for hours with these fucking eggs. But I didn't care. I still was sneaking M&Ms. I ended up not even sneaking them no more. Hands be all chocolate, everything. So I wouldn't eat lunch, and so sometimes I wouldn't even eat dinner if I didn't eat those eggs. So I was like,
Alice, I'm afraid to ask, but like after a life like this, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
that people are evil. Just evil. Just evil. And I felt like some of their evilness carried on to me. Like I wasn't the best mother. I dibbled and dabbled in drugs. I went in and out of jail. My kids suffered at it from the hands of it, and plus from what my daughter went through. So I thought I was protecting her, and here you got thrown back to the wolf by your father, who still lives there. It's sick. But I must say my daughter is a excellent mother, and I take no credit for it because I take none. But she's good. I love them. I love my kids.
All right, Alice, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
I wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing it.
Thank you.